If you thought Squid Game couldn't get any darker, just wait until Lee Myung-gi, also known as MGcoin, shows up. He is the so-called baby father, but his actions are not exactly Father of the Year material. If the law caught up to this guy, it ain't looking good. But before he made headlines in Season 3 for going full unhinged, we need to rewind. Because MGcoin didn't just wake up evil, he started laying the groundwork back in Season 2. And spoiler alert, it wasn't pretty. Long before MGcoin stepped onto the Squid Game floor, he was already playing dirty in the real world. He was a crypto scammer. Yep, back when everyone was chasing tokens and dreams, he was out there selling fake coins to desperate investors, promising massive returns but leaving people broke. In the real world, that's fraud. He may have lost money himself too, but promoting and getting paid sponsorships for scams can still get you in trouble. The law sees this as a calculated effort to deceive and steal. If caught, MGcoin could face up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. That's enough to bankrupt him before he even reaches the first game. Or maybe that is a secret reason he is here in the first place, because he owes the money to the government, and that is just the beginning of his crimes. In episode 6, Thanos and Namgyu follow Minsu to the bathroom and start threatening him. MGcoin steps in and tells them to stop. Things get heated fast. Namgyu brings up Junhee, and the argument turns into a fight. Thanos grabs MGcoin by the neck and starts choking him. But here's the thing. MGcoin swung first, and then he stabbed Thanos in the neck with a fork, killing him. Because he started the fight, this isn't self-defense. It's murder. The punishment is life in prison. But MGcoin's crimes are not stopping here. In Season 3, MGcoin hunts down a fellow player with Namgyu. The chase ends when their target, player 235, runs into a room and straight into Myung-gi. What follows is chaos. Myung-gi attacks with a knife. Player 235 dodges, but before he can escape, Namgyu blocks the exit and jumps in. The two overwhelm him. Myung-gi lands the first stab. Namgyu follows. Then the final moment. Namgyu goes in for the kill, but Myung-gi stops him. He doesn't want to risk losing, so he suggests a shared kill. They stab together. That's not defense. That's coordinated murder. It may have been the game makers who forced this upon the games, but that's their crimes. Mr. MGcoin still commits a murder here, and it earns MGcoin another life sentence. He is far from done, though. After killing player 235, MGcoin and Namgyu still need to kill another player to win. They saw player 411 and made him their target. He tries to hide, but they find him. Together, they corner him and stab him. Player 411 is declared eliminated. There was no attempt to spare him, no threat from 411. This was another joint killing. It qualifies as murder, which adds another life sentence to MGcoin's record. And he is not going to stop here. Namgyu starts theorizing. He explains the rules only require one kill to pass, but then suggests killing extra players to reduce the chances of others surviving. MGcoin listens. He doesn't stop him. He thinks about it. That moment of silence is enough. This is conspiracy to commit further murder, and that adds 15 more years to MGcoin's sentence. After this, the shaman group follows player 44, still trusting her supposed psychic instincts. She leads them to a door, claiming it's the exit. But after opening it and seeing what's inside, she runs off, closing the door. Waiting behind the door are MGcoin and Namgyu. They open the door and they attack. Two players go down, player 006 and player 447. MGcoin is directly involved in one murder and helps Namgyu with the other. That's murder and accessory to murder, which means 2 more life sentences. And you might think MGcoin's crime can't get any worse than this, but you are wrong. Player 100 is in full panic mode, running from room to room. He spots MGcoin and Namgyu nearby. With nowhere to hide, he lies down beside a corpse and smears blood on himself, pretending to be dead. Namgyu finds the body first. It's clearly lifeless, but he stabs it anyway. MGcoin watches and says nothing. He's ready to move on. Letting your partner mutilate a corpse for fun and doing nothing about it? That's being an accomplice to desecration of a corpse. It's bizarre, it's illegal, and it adds 12 years to MGcoin's sentence. But there is more to come. Player 222 gives birth with help from player 149. Throughout the chaos, player 120 protects them both. Eventually, 120 finds the exit. She has all 3 keys. She unlocks the door and sees the congratulations room. But instead of escaping, she turns back to help the woman who just gave birth. Wounded and limping, she returns to deliver the good news. As she announces it, MGcoin stabs her in the back. He kills the one person who kept a mother and newborn safe. That's murder. And it adds another life sentence to his record. Myung-gi really was such an honorable and innocent guy in the 2nd season, but he really went from hero to zero in this one. Because during the jump rope game, MGcoin is the last to arrive, right before player 222. The player ahead of him, player 306, gets stuck and ends up dangling between the tracks. Instead of helping, MGcoin tells him to hurry up, voice sharp and threatening. Under pressure, 306 panics, loses his grip, and falls to his death. MGcoin moves on and clears the stage. Now, he didn't kill anyone this time, but pushing someone into panic that leads to their death, that falls under psychological abuse. It's a gray area, but in the real world, it could land him 1 year in prison. But this is where the criminal really starts to shine. As the first round of the final game begins, the 6 remaining contestants, including MGcoin, start planning who should be eliminated. The discussion quickly turns dark. Player 222, the baby, and Min-soo are all considered expendable. Justifications fly. One says the baby has no mother, and another targets Min-soo for his withdrawal symptoms. MGcoin joins in. He argues that Min-soo should go first and even picks up a weapon when the group hesitates. But before the game begins, they've already plotted to eliminate 3 people. That's conspiracy to commit mass murder, and it adds 3 life sentences to MGcoin's record. And just when you think the scheming might slow down, MGcoin takes matters into his own hands. Literally. Time is running out. The group stands around trying to decide who will push Min-soo. Player 100 suggests 203, but he refuses. Scared Min-soo might pull him down. No one wants to do it. Then MGcoin steps forward. He grabs the pole from the center of the platform and tells everyone to move aside. He walks up to Min-soo and says, "I'm sorry." Like, that makes it better. At this time, Min-soo starts hallucinating that Semi reaches out her hand trying to help, and Min-soo grabs it, but instead of saving him, he gets shoved off the pillar. Player 125 eliminated. That is murder, and it earns him another life sentence. The group gears up for their next target. A plan is made. Player 336 is chosen to go after Gi-hun and take the baby. To keep him safe, they tie a rope made from their suits around him. MGcoin, of course, stands ready nearby with a pole in hand. Player 336 charges. Gi-hun fights back, cuts the rope, and leaves 336 exposed. As 336 struggles, MGcoin moves in from behind and shoves him straight off the platform. Player 336 eliminated. That wasn't an accident. That was intentional murder, and it earns MGcoin another life sentence. But MGcoin isn't done yet, because right after that, he pulls something even colder. Chaos breaks out. A full-on brawl erupts after 203 attacks. Gi-hun and player 353 grab the pole from MGcoin. Fighting spills across the platform. 203 goes for the knife. 353 kicks MGcoin, and they both go down. But when 353 climbs back up, MGcoin twists the pole and leaves him hanging. No hesitation. MGcoin kicks him off the edge. Player 353 eliminated. That's another deliberate kill, and it adds 1 more life sentence to MGcoin's record. And just when it seems like the chaos might settle, MGcoin adds another cold decision to his rap sheet. The game's almost over and only 5 are left. Player 100 does the math and says it out loud. Just throw out player 39 next, and they each walk away with billions. But MGcoin doesn't want to wait or talk. He steps forward with the pole and calmly tells player 100 the payout would be even better without him. Then he shoves him off. Player 100 eliminated. Another premeditated murder. And yes, that's another life sentence for MGcoin. At this point, MGcoin isn't just chasing survival, he's chasing the win. And with only Gi-hun and a baby left between him and the prize, things get tense fast. Gi-hun calls him out, asking if he really plans to kill the baby and walk away rich. MGcoin is not even fazed. He just says, "Give me the baby." The bridge is about to collapse. Gi-hun stalls, but MGcoin keeps the pressure on. No threats, no violence, just that cold stare and a demand to move faster. Gi-hun lays the baby down and backs off, while MGcoin reaches out with the pole and pulls the baby to safety. No physical harm here, but this was coercion, using pressure and intimidation to get what he wants. That's another 5 years tacked onto his already overflowing sentence. Just when you think MGcoin can't sink lower, he trades in strategy for desperation. On the final pillar, it's just him, Gi-hun, and the baby. No more allies, no more escape. Gi-hun calls him out, saying he isn't worthy of sacrifice. That's when things spiral. They fight, the knife is lost, and the pole's gone. MGcoin lunges, grabs the baby, and holds it over the edge. His own child. He threatens to drop the baby unless Gi-hun backs off. It's raw, it's ugly, and it's unforgivable. That's coercion again. Another 5 years. But worse, this time he crossed the line into attempted infanticide. Doesn't matter if he didn't drop the baby, the intent was there. And for that, death sentence. And here's when things get interesting. After all the blood, betrayal, and twisted games, it comes down to Gi-hun and MGcoin in one last brutal clash. MGcoin, knife in hand, charges. Gi-hun wraps his jacket around his arms, bracing himself. A stab lands deep, but the fight rages on. They wrestle, stumble, and both topple off the pillar. Gi-hun grabs a bar mid-fall, barely hanging on, with MGcoin clinging to the torn jacket wrapped around his arm. It's tense, desperate, and silent until the fabric gives way. MGcoin plunges. That moment seals his fate. But before the fall, MGcoin tried to take Gi-hun with him. That's attempted murder, plain and simple. One final charge to the record, life sentence. So now let's wrap it all up. MGcoin's full list of crimes includes financial fraud with 5 years in prison and a $250 million fine, murder with 14 life sentences, conspiracy to commit murder with 15 years, accessory to murder with 2 life sentences, desecration of a corpse with 12 years, psychological abuse with 1 year, coercion with 10 years, attempted infanticide with a death sentence, and attempted murder with 1 life sentence. In total, that's 14 life sentences, 1 death sentence, 43 years in prison, and a $250 million fine. If you want to see more other baddies go to jail, click on the video on the screen now.